By the end of this video, you're gonna have a simple and clear way to improve your chess level tremendously, taking just 5 minutes of your time per day. Hi guys, and welcome to the Journey to Grandmaster, the place where you can improve every aspect of your chess game. And I consider the best way to train your chess, to improve your chess level, is solving the puzzles. Because chess is 99% tactics, so it's a very good exercise to train your tactics ability on a daily basis. So, well, there are different ways. You can open a book, you can search through different websites to solve some puzzles, but personally I find the Puzzle Rush on chess.com the best way because it's just 5 minutes, it's very entertaining because the tasks are getting more difficult and more difficult with the time, and well, you don't really feel like you are studying, it doesn't feel like it's something difficult or something that you don't want to do, rather it's just a game, entertaining for you, but at the same time incredibly useful. So today I want to go through it with you. I'm gonna comment every puzzle that I solve. It's gonna slow me down a little bit, but the main purpose is to make it as useful and instructive for you as possible. So we have 5 minutes, we are gonna solve as many puzzles as possible, and I'm gonna try to comment my decision-making process all along the way. So let's start. And well, in those puzzles, the first like 10 to 15 are relatively straightforward, where you need either to give a checkmate in 1 or 2 moves, or you need to take one of your opponent's pieces. So the formula that you always need to use is checks, captures, and threats. For example, here I'm looking for the checks, I have found it, and that's a checkmate. The only check here, queen takes f7, and that's a checkmate. Here, the only reasonable check is queen g6, and that leads to a checkmate. Here, the only possible check is queen h4, and once again, the same story. Here, queen g2 would be a check, but that's gonna blunder the queen, so you need to make sure that before you are making your moves that you're not blundering your piece, so the piece that you're taking cannot be recaptured. Here, we have to exchange the queens first, and then take the bishop. Here there are some checks, but I don't see how it's really great for me, so I'm gonna go to captures. So if you don't have any checks, or if checks are not giving you anything, you should come to captures. You should look at the position and decide whether you can capture something. So here my rook is hanging and I have a check here, but yeah, it doesn't give me anything. I have another check, knight at e6, and that leads to a checkmate. So it's becoming more difficult, of course, when there are multiple checks available at your disposal. Then you're not really sure, you need to calculate both of them and make a conclusion which one leads to a better result. Here I don't have a choice, for example, so it's relatively straightforward. It's always more difficult when you have this choice. Here knight f6 is the only check, but our queen is hanging, but at the end of the day we have another check and we are winning the rook. Here it should be a checkmate somehow, because we are all of the pieces are pointing towards h3, sorry, so we need to remove all of the defenders from there, and then the checkmate is unavoidable, or he has to give up the queen. Here we just have checkmate in 1, very simple, but once again, first of all, always look for the checks. That should be your idea how to find the best move. Okay, now we can just promote. So if there are no checks and no captures, then you're looking for the threats. So how you can attack your opponent, how you can create a threat for him. Here, well, I can just promote the pawn and that would be a checkmate. Here, once again, it's all about the checks, pretty straightforward, but of course, it doesn't mean that once you see a check, you must immediately do it. For example, here rook h2 would be a bad check, whereas rook takes d3 wins the bishop. You have to calculate it first and decide whether it brings something to you or not. If not, then move forward to the captures. If yes, just make this check. So here, for example, I'm giving up the exchange, but with an idea to give a checkmate, which I still need to find somehow. I guess queen g8 and knight takes d5 is a way. Yeah, because he has to give up his queen. Here, queen f3 seems to be creating a threat, so there are no checks, there are no captures, but I can create a threat of a checkmate, and that's the best thing I can do in this position. here I should just give a lot of checks, and that should be enough to give a checkmate. Okay, queen f2, I need to be careful not to blunder my queen, so once again, before making your move, remember to check whether you are not blundering the piece. Here queen f5 and then checkmate. Here bishop takes and queen h6 seems to be the way. Yeah, because the bishop is pinned, so we are winning there. Oh my god, I'm black. Should I take the rook? Probably. Where are those pawns going? Guess here. Should I start with king c6? I don't know. Let's start with g5. Very, very tricky puzzle here, but well, the point is the same. I'm trying to make the most active move, which in this case is promoting the pawn. Here it's just a checkmate. Here queen f2 would be blundering the queen, so queen e1 is the right move, and then knight e2 checkmate. But once again, I'm starting with the checks, so nothing special. Here I can take here, and then on d8 I can take with the knight, and that would lead to winning some material. Oops, here bishop e6, so that one is a little bit tricky, but you see the level is higher, so it's understandable that the puzzles are a little bit more difficult. Here queen takes g7, using the pin works. And now just bishop b4, and I'm... oops. Yeah, bishop takes e3 first, should have been played. Knight g4, once again looking for the checks. And here bishop b3 is winning some material. Yeah, okay. Well, remember, it's always fine to make mistakes, there is nothing wrong with it. A mistake is an opportunity for you to learn something new. So, well, I have scored 43 here. That's pretty fine result, considering the fact that I was trying to comment as much as possible for you to make it instructive. I hope you enjoyed it, and well, if you have a free account on chess.com, you have one free puzzle rash each day, and well, maybe it's not a lot, but it's perfectly fine to train your tactics ability. It's very useful, so I would strongly advise you to do it on a daily basis. And remember that daily, seemingly insignificant improvements, when done consistently with the time, lead to stunning results. So hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was instructive for you. Consider subscribing to the channel to get even more educational videos, and hope to see you in the next videos.